Hi, I'm Peter.
And I'm Katmia.
Welcome to This and That Chat. What?
That's not how you talk.
Well, this is how people think I talk
No.
and
No.
think I look.
No, that's it right there. That's how people think you look. But that's not how you sound. If you sounded like that, I would say it wouldn't be shocking.
I was told in a comment
Yes.
that my voice sounded like I was dead.
No.
What was it that they said?
That you were wrapped up in a sleeping bag, sluggish, sleepy.
Sluggish was the word.
Okay.
So, hi. My name is Peter.
See, that is a sluggish voice.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that the funny part about all of this is that is not how you look, right? In fact, I don't see the difference, right? Because your voice is your voice and I see you and that's it, right? But I mean, first of all, the feedback that we got on the video was ridiculous.
Well, we'll talk about that
right?
now.
But I'm saying this is where this is coming from.
Yes.
Because I think one of the
take
things...
this off. Hold on, it's hot.
I think one of the biggest things that we kept hearing consistently was the fact that voices didn't match to the faces, or that it was surprising to see that that's what we looked like. That's kind of, what the overall theme was. You just wrap it around you. Now you have to suffer.
Yeah, right. Grab that end of it.
I'm not going to be wrapped in it.
No, grab that end of it. We can put it on the table.
You're going to drop everything.
Hold up.
You're going to hit buttons. Well.
It's still recording.
All right. So, oh my God.
Hey, did you not go stand in front of a mirror?
No.
Before? You did not stand in front of a mirror before we started?
No.
What are you doing with the mic? I set you up. This is the mic.
What do you want me to do? What am I doing?
Talk into the mic.
I'm talking into the mic. You can't hear me?
Sit back a little bit and pull the mic towards you. And talk into the mic.
Take me to your leader.
Let's see.
You want me to be stiff?
No, I want you
I have it forward so that I can move.
I know.
I have space.
But you're talking to this. Talk to this.
Bro.
No, bro.
I'm talking. People can hear me. No, not one single comment said
Shall
we
I
can't
bring it
hear
up?
her. What? They said we can't hear her.
No.
They said, oh, I wanted to move it because aesthetically, you are the one who stays in your place and your mic is like perfectly like right here. You're eating it,
Because that's the way you're supposed to.
I think there's freedom in where the mic is as long as you can hear me.
You can have freedom for the mic, but speak into the mic.
I'm speaking it to the mic. Let's move on. You're making me itchy.
You're itching. Stop scratching it.
I'm
You're gonna
not.
mess
I'm
it up.
rubbing. I'm rubbing. There's a new tattoo that is healing.
look,
People
can
can see it. I forgot. Okay.
I'd have to do some
so-
acrobats for mine.
Yes, you would. So I got a Star Wars tattoo. I finally have my nerd card.
Bro, look at where you're talking into the mic.
Bro, leave me alone. It's fine.
Okay.
Let's move on because
let's get some
there's
feedback.
so many good things.
Let's get some
Oh
feedback.
my God.
Let's get some feedback. Is
Are my
Ketmia...
ears cute?
No. Is Ketmia
Are
talking...
my ears cute?
Your ears are cute.
Thank you.
Is Ketmia talking into the mic?
It doesn't matter. Can you hear me is the right question. Can you hear me? If we were not recording and people were to be listening to our podcast, would anybody leave a comment saying, this is the real question, people. Now I'm addressing all the listeners.
You know what the funny thing is?
The real question here that, oh my gosh, you really need to turn up her volume because we can't hear her. Or, no, we can hear her just fine.
Okay, here's the funny thing. When we were not doing video, I spent the entire time doing what?
Telling me.
The
I'd
entire
be like-
time. Well, now it's visible.
Well, so now they know. Now they know I move around and I can't sit still.
Moving around is fine. Just come back to the mic.
Okay. So you just keep going like this to me. And then every time
You know what
they're
I'm
going
gonna
to be
do?
like, what is that? Peter
gonna-
should do air traffic control.
I'm gonna bring marbles.
Oh my God. You should get the little things. Yeah.
A sign that says mic.
No. The little sticks that they use. Oh, maybe my brother could get some.
That would be funny.
Right? And then when you hold them up and you're like, no, you have to point them to the mic. Then I'd be like,
Yeah.
and then we would be good.
Okay.
So I have to say that in the last week, I have been floored. I think I've given that feedback to everyone who has made a comment about our podcast being on video now, that I'm shocked. I think I've just been saying, wow, because it was so unexpected. I honestly, genuinely thought that it was bleh at best, you know? I love that now that we're on video, when you go to your phone and you're searching. Before, I would just be like staring off and to the books and looking around our library, just like, okay, let me just, talk about whatever. And now I'm keenly aware, that people can see.
Mike.
Speak.
Okay.
Let me drink my coffee.
All right. So
Today, our episode is being sponsored by non-dairy Starbucks salted caramel cold brew. Continue.
okay. So we started our yes.
Can I just say,
1 second. Hold on.
It's the worst when that happens to me when I'm talking to a patient. The worst, because you're a professional, and when you're talking to a patient,
the entire thing was played out in my mind. I heard all the words, everything in succession. I worked through it, right? So
And then-
I have a little bit of a mumbling
quality.
kind of quality. You good? You got tears coming out of your eyes. You good?
Yes, I should have a mirror though.
No.
That's good in case the mascara runs or anything. Go on now.
Yeah. So I have a little bit of a mumbling quality, which is maybe where they get the what's the word? The sluggish. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna hold it together?
We're good.
Okay. I forgot what I was saying.
No, you did not,
Yes, I did.
bro.
Oh, I have.
I'm legitimately, I'm concerned for you. I
Yes,
think we
I
need
know.
to take like some
We
brain
talked about this
focus
last
or
night.
something. I don't know.
We talked about this last night. We talked about this.
Do you want me to help you?
Yes, please.
You were saying that you had all the words in your mind, you heard everything correctly,
Yes. Okay, got it.
and then you had diarrhea.
Of the mouth. I cannot. If you thought that last week's episode,
I hope that's what
was
we're
good.
talking about. We're not talking about just diarrhea in general.
do you have something that you need to share?
The way that you just said of the mouth, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Continue.
Okay, so
Bro, get to the end of your story. Let's go.
did you just?
Seidel.
No, I'm gonna let you laugh this.
Okay,
now.
I'm
Go
done.
ahead. Are you done?
Woo.
Yeah, drink some
Okay, go
whatever
on.
that is.
Oh my gosh, what must my tears look like?
No,
I've
no.
never had to think about that before.
Yeah. You
Okay,
ready?
go on. Yes. I'm done.
All right.
It's
So
only funny for me. Okay, go. Sorry.
Ready? Take 5. So we started on March 16 of 2021.
Wow.
That was our first episode.
Wow. I can feel the tears.
You good?
Yes, I think.
Okay, we have 61 episodes that we have posted in that time.
That's terrible.
We had some major inconsistencies somewhere in the beginning.
Because 60 episodes? That's not even a whole year's worth.
Well, it's 52
One
weeks in a year. So yes, it is a year's worth. There's 52 weeks in a year.
Hold on. Let me maybe it's my misunderstanding. Let's start over. Is it 61 episodes total that we have since 2021?
Yes.
That is less than a year's worth. A year is what I'm saying.
Okay, let's do the math.
It's
If
more
there
than
are 52 weeks in a year worth of episodes.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
Episodes.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
Please explain.
61 divided by 4. We'll say 4 because we're in 2025 and it's almost March. How much is that approximately? Since you're the math genius here.
Approximately per year? 15.
15. So what I'm saying is that with 61 total episodes that we have, that's not even like we recorded an episode a week every year, because then we would have over 250 episodes.
We don't record
That's
every
what
single
I'm
week.
saying.
But
it's just like a little over a year's worth in 4 years.
But what year? Okay, move on.
Okay, poll. Who didn't understand what I was just saying right now? Please, in
What
the
you're
comments, say
saying-
who sided with me and who sided with him. Go on.
We're gonna. Is this gonna be like Deadpool, where we break the fourth wall for a lot of things, and then we come back to it?
The Office started that.
But honestly, Deadpool masterfully.
Maybe it was
executed.
like one of the. Well, I'm sure that it's been done in a movie before, but
sure.
yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. Okay. Can we finish my statement?
We're still on your
Oh
story.
yeah, we're still on my statement. You're all over the place.
Me.
You.
Oh, go on. Sorry. Go ahead.
We started in March 16 of 2021. And in those 61 episodes, okay, this episode that went to video has been our best episode.
All right.
Immediately.
Give me 2 reasons why you think that's the case. Do you want my reasons first?
Go.
Okay. 2 reasons. I think curiosity.
Okay.
People have been curious. A, what do we look like? B, are they really like that, I guess? Is it going to be, what's the camera going to be like?
Well, they're going to see it this week. We've been the first 15 minutes yapping at each other.
Last week was very stiff for me. I felt very constricted. I felt...
You asked for it.
I felt locked in a cage. I felt like I had to be very aware of the camera, the microphone, the frame. The frame is the big thing, right? Because normally there are times where like I'm just like twirling around and I can't do that, right? And it's my movement is not thought out.
You've got a good bit of space to.
Because so one, I think that the feedback genuinely helped in me feeling like even at what I felt was my worst, because I just felt so constrained. All right. People enjoyed it so much that I was like, oh, so, that was one of the things that I was worried about was, I don't know, how it was just how was that going to translate
how
where
people
people
were
are going to
gonna-
find
yeah.
it boring? Like, oh, she sounded different. I don't know, right?
I
Because
will-
I
I
felt
will tell you-
different last week.
I will
right?
tell you this.
And I didn't feel like myself. Today, I feel like myself.
I will tell you this: the podcast part of it, like on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all that kind of stuff, took a dive. So it
Wait, but it is a podcast.
yes, but this is a video on YouTube,
Oh,
so
wait a
it gets
minute. Did
uploaded
you,
separately.
So you didn't. Oh, no. Wait. You're saying you uploaded the audio file to the other podcast platforms and it took a dive there.
It wasn't huge. It was less than what.
Oh, but wouldn't that make sense though? Because I'm not going to watch Joe Rogan's podcast on YouTube
And
and,
listen to
then
it.
go listen to
Correct.
it. Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so
So-
it just shifted.
Yes.
All right.
So significantly a lot more than any other podcast that we've posted in the last 2 years.
That is
this
still
video,
wild
like, it just-
to me.
Yeah, and
What are your 2 reasons?
my 2 reasons: one, the universe asked for it.
No, honey, not why we did the podcast.
Why
The
it
2
worked?
reasons. Yes. Why was it so? Why is it our
Because
best episode?
it is backed by the universe.
Okay. So the universe is going to be
Mm-hmm.
part of this episode today.
And 2, I get one thing where I'm right for the year,
Oh.
and I got it in January. So I got 11 months of losses
Being
coming
wrong?
at me.
Because of the podcast works?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. Honestly, like for real, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I've wanted to do the video podcast because in my mind, I have a vision in the future of adding other little fun stuff to it, like me being able to do some video editing to it. Like we've talked about this, I think, in some episode somewhere back there. But
You know what my like vision for the future is?
see, like right now, I would have the Roadrunner just go. "Eong."
Wow. Listen, you're
I was in
talking
the
about
middle of a statement.
that. You know what that means? That means that I clearly disengaged from your statement.
Way at the beginning.
Okay, way at the beginning, wasn't listening, right? Already formulated my statement, and then it was just like there was a little pause in your breathing. And
Here's
then
the
it
gap.
was-
Get in there. Kill him.
I'm so sorry. That's very rude. Go ahead.
No, I'm done. Now you don't get the. Close your ears.
Listen, I was going to say, I don't even remember what you were saying. Can you repeat it? Would you?
I want to do video editing stuff because I like to do video editing stuff, and I lost that part of my stuff a couple years ago, and now this is an opportunity for me to be able to do it. So that's why I pushed it. The fact that I thought maybe we would get some movement, I did not think. There were strangers that were talking to us, sending us messages. That's weird.
I mean, in a good way,
Of
weird,
course.
but still weird.
Of course.
Because I still don't even think anyone outside of our family listens.
Right. But obviously they do.
Obviously we do.
Because
And that's shocking.
we don't have
Because you
have the
you
number
look
of
at the
people listening to it.
analytics.
Yeah.
And then you always tell me, oh, there's this many downloads in this
The
state.
thing is that
or
they keep on
it's-
sending it to me.
Right.
Because all of a sudden we've got this movement.
No, I'm saying in general. Before you would tell me, "Oh, we have this many people listening in this place, or new listeners, whatever." But those are just statistics.
Right.
It's not really a person. And now there is a person who sent who took the time. Thank you to whoever you are. Took the time to say and engage with you a little bit because you were the one who was messaging
Yeah,
them
I was
back.
talking to him, and like he said that he felt like my voice didn't match, yours kind of did, and like it was just like little bits and pieces where it was kind of like, very interesting that is what was perceived
as.
of us,
Yeah.
and
Unless
even,
you know who we are. Even
but
my
even
sister
even your sister,
said that.
so it really does.
So
guess it
back
really
to what
does
I
make
was
a
saying
difference.
about what I envision is, in SNL where they do the Weekend update?
Not like that.
Like that.
No.
That's how I imagine it.
Wait, no. I'm not talking about the weekend update thing.
Oh.
I'm talking about the...
Bro, you can hear me the same way.
Say your thing about the weekend update again.
Oh, that's how I envision it in the future. Weekend update style.
Oh, yes.
Just like that.
I hope so.
Look, we're on the same page about that.
I hope so.
You know, us facing the camera together side by side, and then a little window popping up right here where I'm talking about, you know, this week, you know, there was, you know, this thing that happened to you.
We should have the segment where I write jokes for you and you write jokes for me.
Oh my gosh, I had already been thinking about how it would be so funny if we played a game. I'm already planning something for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Where we're going to ask each other questions and we're going to answer. We're going to make a family-friendly version of it.
Okay.
So,
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Stop rubbing it.
I'm not scratching. It's just rubbing.
Yeah.
See, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lash out at you like that. It's just very, very itchy.
Bilbo.
Listen, last week you disappointed me.
Whatever.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like you didn't even know what I was talking about.
It took me a minute, but I got it. I did get it.
Okay. So back to what we were saying.
Yes.
So I don't know. Like, it's just, I'm sorry. I'm just stuck on, wow. It has been sponsored
got my
by
water this week.
Bro, I got comments about your water too. I feel like I got comments about everything. Like,
Why don't they should write all these comments on the page.
That would be good.
That's where it all should be.
That would be good. Not on the family chat.
No, not on the private chats, because you got private chats. I didn't even get that stuff.
Yeah. But seriously, like, you were drinking water like you were a man who has been in the desert. So
that's how I drink water.
Sorry, I was just thinking about the blanket and about, I hope that to the person who said that you were in a sleeping bag, it was a funny little touch. But anyway, so
what are we talking about today?
The same as always.
Whatever comes up.
Whatever comes up.
I thought you wanted to have...
I do have a couple little things that I had. Hold on. Okay, so I wrote a I had some notes on my phone.
Where?
Right here.
Oh.
I had some notes that I had written down because I feel that we normally do something at the beginning of the year. And I have been very conflicted if we should talk about this or not.
Okay.
Because, I don't know. In a podcast, in social media, in a video, whatever you do, when you post something publicly out there, I feel that you are opening yourself up to criticism. Plain and simple, right? And people have opinions and all of that stuff. I feel like we have made this disclaimer so many times already. What we say is just us. Honestly, it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what your opinion is about what we're saying. Mm-hmm. Not your personal, but about what we're saying. It's just, those are our thoughts.
Yeah, everyone has a right to their own.
If you don't like it, you don't like it. You're fine, right? If you agree, you agree.
When I say, I don't like cats.
Right.
And
people,
you wear
people
cat
will
ears.
jump. People. You don't like this kitty?
I like that kitty.
I know. What? What's wrong?
PG.
It is PG.
Go ahead.
Go. But I'm saying, like, people could be like, oh, well, we don't agree about that in your marriage or this in your parenting. That's fine. We didn't ask you. You want to put your opinion out there? Put your opinion out there. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. We're just talking about our stuff, right? So If you have a different opinion about it, we respect it. You're entitled to it. We will never like stuff our stuff down your throat. That's just how it is, right? And I hope that, yeah, I think everyone hopes that that's how the comments come in, right? That's how they're received. But whatever, there's trolls behind every keyboard.
Right.
So I debated talking about what we do every year for New Year's, where we sit down and we evaluate the year. What's going to happen? What's going to come? Who's going to die? And who's going to get married and who's going to get pregnant. Like, we talk about that stuff. Some people have told me that's kind of morbid, that you think about who's going to die. But truthfully, like, there's people who are well along in age, and it's not a frivolous conversation about, ooh, you think so and so is going to die this year, but more about, wow, like, this person's time, this could be it. This could be their last year. And it just puts life into perspective, right? Where, wow, we were
Right,
gifted another year.
We're not wishing for them to go.
No, right? And
But-
it's not a laughing matter or anything like that, but it's just,
when you're in your late 80s, early 90s, and you've got some health issues and things aren't, going the best.
right.
Like, there,
Are you going to make it to your
yeah.
birthday?
It also comes to the
Wow.
point where you're like, goodness, like, would they be in a better place if they weren't suffering through what they were going, and
That's hard.
It's hard to make those commentaries, but if it's somebody that's close to you, do you want them to be going through some horrific suffering because you want them to stay around? Like, does that go on borderline selfishness? Like, it's those
Yeah.
are all things that come up when we have these conversations.
Right.
And it's
It's very
we've been wrong.
reflective.
We've been wrong for a few
I
years
know.
on some that we've looked around, and it's like, wow, it's incredible.
Right. So it's just, I feel like we take that time to reflect at the beginning of the year of like, what do you think the year's going to be? Like, do you think anything major is going to happen? All that stuff, whatever. We do that. I feel like we didn't do that this year.
Mm-hmm.
We barely had a little conversation about what's like new things that you want to try and, new experiences you want to have, a new hobby you want to pick up, whatever. Right. And one of those things that we haven't had a chance to discuss yet is I would say that this is new for me since the pandemic, because the pandemic brought on new practices that were not there before. And I think it was for many people who developed new practices, it was just because there was so much time on your hands and maybe there was boredom or loneliness or whatever, right? That just caused you to, I'm going to start doing this, right? So for me, during the pandemic for 2021, it was starting off with, okay, what is going to be my word or my phrase or my thing that I'm going to focus on or practice this year, right? And it's not supposed to be like December is the end of your race and okay, I did it and you're done with it, right? No, hopefully now that you've been practicing that for the whole year, it's just part of you now. You're developing new habits. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? So last year for me, I wanted to enjoy the present moment. All right.
I must have turned it off. I must have turned it on instead of off. Sorry.
All right. Enjoy the present moment rather than be excitedly looking forward to the next thing that was going to come, right? And I want to clarify, right? It's not because I'm not present in the moment, and it's not that I am incapable of enjoying the things that are going on in the moment. It's just I get a high from our cruise is coming up. I can't wait for our cruise. It's so exciting. And all I'm thinking about is how many days left until the cruise? What are we going to do on the cruise? Oh my God, this is going to be amazing on the cruise. This excursion is going to be on the cruise. I'm constantly logging in for the cruise. And right, that's how it is. And there's things that are happening today, right? That tomorrow, that's it. Today's gone. You can't go back and relive it. And so I wanted, instead of always looking at the next big thing that's coming, it's just enjoy today for today. Maybe it's a boring day, but that's it, right? And then when we get there, we get there. And then you fully enjoy it for that. And then you just keep going, right? Because what I had realized is that I get like this super high excitement over what's coming. Live that excitement for that week, and then there's like a huge low. It's over, right? And then it's like, whoa, what's the next thing, right? And I feel that then that time goes by way too fast, and it like escaped me, and it's over. And I don't know, I was just feeling like I was being left with all of these lows, right? So last year, every time I found myself doing that, I wanted to stop, and just be in whatever moment I was in. And I was very surprised last year by how much I did that. I didn't realize that that's how I lived life, right? And it was something that I wanted to change. So I did it last year. I found myself wanting what was coming still. So it's definitely a work in progress, something I'm going to continue working on this year and, until it becomes normal for me to live that way. But we're in a new year. So it's a new word, it's a new action, it's a new practice, whatever it is, right? So this year, I decided that what was most important for me was just like, I want to just be, the only way I can describe it is like the smooth rock on a waterfall where everything just like sort of slides off of you. You don't want to walk on those rocks because they're slippery. Nothing sticks. Everything's just like gone. I'm not holding on to stuff. In a word, I am unbothered. Okay. Which was very, very funny because I was talking to my sister Leah, who made a comment to me during Christmas morning that her New Year thing was going to be, her 2025 thing was, I'm unbothered. I don't care. Nothing bothers me. You're having an issue. I don't want to know about it. I'm unbothered, right? Not to that degree, but do you understand what I'm saying? And I thought it was funny because even though unbothered was not my word, we were having the same idea, right?
Thinking the same way.
Thinking the same way, right? And so, that at my family, we're such a large family that whenever we have get-togethers, it's an ordeal. And I don't remember if we talked about Christmas morning with the family and how wild it is. There's a giant breakfast. Everyone's opening presents one at a time.
We kind of talked a little bit about that.
And it takes hours. I think we said that, right?
For our the Christmas episode.
So she had shared with me that, as per usual, this is not unusual, right? Christmas morning, there was already like, people showing up late, people saying that we needed to start early and then they were the last ones to show up, like that stuff, right? And she was just like, I'm unbothered. It's fine. We start when we start. We end when we end. You leave when you leave. You come when you come. That's it, right? And to me, looking at her saying that to me, it's very opposite of what she was like before she was a mom. I feel like she's had like this metamorphosis now as a mother because she's always been the family photographer. Always. And I can't tell you how many times she would be like raging at the fact that she could not get everybody rounded up together, that when people were together, they weren't paying attention to her instructions. It was just always this like colossal chaos that was going on when she was trying to take a picture. And to see her going from that very meticulous, very like detailed and, this is the way it has to be and all that stuff, very rigid, I would say, in many things, to seeing her now just, ooh, I'm unbothered, right? It's like, wow, that's really big. And I think that the rest of the siblings are feeling that because Leah
Well, they had somebody.
is
They
now-
had somebody who was wrangling them in, and now that person's gone.
I feel like Leah now is like the beacon for the siblings. Okay, like she is the person that
The point
people go,
person.
the point that there you go. Thank you so much.
You used to be the point.
Here's the thing. I do, and I'm glad that I'm no longer that person.
But I can tell you why you're not.
Why?
The core
Is over there.
is over there.
Okay.
They moved. When that happened, you're like, if you guys were still all within a radius,
Mm-hmm.
I think you would still be in that space.
But I also think that
But-
she was also more available than I was for a lot of them. In terms of, I need help getting into college, she would be the one who was like, okay, we're making phone calls, we're filling, I'm going to help you
Yeah,
fill
but
out your
all that
FAFSA
stuff
and all.
happened
I
up
had
there.
little kids, but I'm saying I had little kids, right? I couldn't be that person. And getting apartments, I know that she was the one who was going with, some other siblings to look at the place, to find the place, to call and get information. She kind of went into that role, and so everyone just naturally went to her, to the point where it's funny, she and I have had this conversation where I can suggest something, right? Nobody will pay attention to it, maybe one person, right? But if she suggests it, everybody's like, I'm on board, sign me up. When do we do this?
You're
right?
giving away secrets.
I know. Now you know. You have been tricked. So what happens, right? She and I will have conversations and I'll say, what would be a great idea if we did X, Y, and Z? And she's like, oh my God, I love it. And I'm like, you put it on the chat. You go and spread the word. And she's like, that's it. I'm done. She's about to be.
Why? What are you doing?
We're just talking.
No, you're not. You're ruining every single bit of your leverage.
No, listen. What leverage? She puts it, and people are like, "Sign me up."
And you think that that's still going to be the case?
That is, and now people are not going to know. They're going to be like, "Was this your idea or not?" It's awesome. It's awesome because I am not competing for that spot. She has it, good. I just need to know who has the leverage and go to that person. Isn't that smart? I don't have any of the responsibility. Like, she is a mom of toddlers, about to be 3 toddlers, 3 children under 5. Okay. And she is still doing stuff for people. A little less now that she's unbothered. Right? But anyway, I thought it was so good because she said that Christmas morning for her was not stressful, right? And who doesn't want less stress in their life? I feel like she is way ahead of it than I am, right? Because yesterday we were having a conversation about you care too much. She was telling me about a situation. And it's true, right? Because I'm a very passionate person, right? So I will have a lot to say and a lot of thoughts about something, whereas she is just like purged. I'm done with it. Move on, right?
But you've also been very clear with the fact that you're giving, when you give your opinion, it's your opinion, and you're not going to dance around that opinion.
And so let's talk about that, right? Because is that a positive trait or a negative one? Because I feel like it can be both.
Okay, but I'm gonna start off with this. I don't care. I don't care whether it's positive or negative.
All right. You appreciate it?
Here's the thing.
Okay.
It's a trait that can be appreciated. For me, how long have I said to you, I just wish people would just be straight. Like, bro, if you don't like me, tell me you don't like me. If you don't like that I'm doing something, tell me you don't like that I'm doing something. Like, I remember so many years in retail, that was the one thing that drove me absolutely nuts. I did not run my stores the way
Conventionally.
corporate conventionally was teaching us to do it. And yet I had best running stores in the districts. You know, I'm not saying that my store was perfect. I had
But
my
you
issues,
found what worked for you.
but I found what worked for me. I hit all of the metrics that were being asked of me. You know, a lot of people talked a lot of crap about me all the time. And yet, when we sat in the meetings and we looked at
That's because they were jelly.
the cold hard facts, I was up in sales. My inventory was good.
That's why.
Like, you know, like those are all the stuff that was happening. By the way, I was doing stuff. So then my boss would come in and he'd be, you know, trying to find things, you know, you're not doing inventory counts the right way. Right? And I would tell him, why not? Well, because the thing is, if the inventory system says that you have 2, you need to dig through your entire store and find where those 2 are. And I'm like, why? If the 2 are in the store, I'll find them. And when we do inventory, it'll be corrected. Right? So I would just put 0. And they would send me 6 more. Now my shelf is full, so my customers can buy it. I wouldn't lose the sales. My store looked nice and full all the time. And if I found the 2, now I have those extra 2 in there. And when I did the walkthrough inventory counts, right, I would scan something and it would show that I had 0, but I actually had 2. Click, add 2. All of
so
a
you
sudden,
corrected it.
inventory was corrected. But I never had those empty shelves. So did I have maybe a little bit extra merchandise in my store? Yeah, I had some extra merchandise.
But nothing that was wasteful.
But it was nothing that was wasteful.
Right.
You know? So it's like, you know, that's the improper way, and we don't want you to do that because it's costing the money, blah, 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 right? But if I didn't have it in the store, I would lose the sale, and then I would be
Customer
on the negative side,
complaints
right?
and yeah.
So what he would come in and say is he would talk about procedure, and he would talk about all this other kind of stuff.
Procedure. Wait, you just said that and reminded me of a movie. Where they were
Office
like
Space? TPS reports?
no. Continue.
Anyways.
I'm disengaged now.
So all the conversations that we would have would be all about things that were not, it wasn't straight out, you know? It wasn't like, hey, I don't like the way you're doing things because you're doing things on your own away from what the corporate wants, and I want you to do corporate. If I had my boss come directly at me.
Okay,
and tell
that's
me,
a great story.
And tell me, hey, stop doing what you're doing your way. I want you to do it exactly the way corporate requires you to do it. I don't want you to deviate from that. And he was straightforward to tell me like that. I would tell him, can you write that out, please, on a visit's notes, so that I would have paperwork. Because if I had a corporate visit and they would come in and they would say, the last time I was here, your store looked amazing. What's going on?
Oh,
my boss said that he wanted
but
me to stop doing
of course they're not going to
things.
do stuff like that for you.
I know, but
And
I
that's the
always
problem with
hated that.
management, right? So, you know, there's been conversation about possibly having management opportunities at work for myself, right? And I have been vocal that I am not interested. Like, I know that that's what you guys want because you've made it very clear. But look, I'm not your person. Don't waste your time with me. I'm not your person, right? And this is the feedback I've gotten. But we can see you as that. We can see you would make a good one at that. And now obviously they've seen my resume, right? That's the thing.
The thing
I've
is that they're not wrong.
been right. You're not wrong.
They're
I
not
would be
wrong.
your person.
But you don't
I'm no
want it.
longer your person. I'm no longer interested. That is not a career path that I want anymore.
If it would have been 10 years ago, you're talking something different.
Yeah. But the problem for me is that with experience in the past, what I have seen is I have yet to see a place that actually empowers its managers to be managers. You are just the long arm of the bureaucracy of corporate. That's all you are.
The only place that I have seen that does back up like that is Banana Ball. I told you about this.
You didn't tell me about
I
that.
read their book, and everything that they talk about, their entire culture is wild. They empower people to do things. You know, he was talking about in a meeting for like new ideas. He said, he goes, I need somebody, because they were putting in a brand new position. I need somebody to come in here and argue with me every day. I need him to
We heard
be
that in
my
Business Wars
He's like,
too, remember?
I need him to be my adversary. I'll go grab a beer with him after we're done, but we need to have a 45-minute fight where we're almost punching each other. You know, because that's how good ideas become reality.
And what I'm saying is I've never experienced that. I've never seen that. It's what's said out loud, right?
Yeah.
It's what's said out loud.
I need you guys to give me feedback.
Be honest.
Be
Yeah,
honest.
and all that stuff. And it's like, no, that's so not the truth.
You
okay?
get blacklisted.
Oh, yeah.
You get blacklisted.
Yeah, right? And so, no, a smart person keeps their mouth shut. You go to your meetings, you shake your head,
you
and
imagine-
you walk away.
Could you imagine? And let's talk outside of corporate. Let's talk about, I know that there was a little bit of a situation that had different, what's the word? That had different opinions that was talked about yesterday. And the opinions sit differently based on different experiences, where you are in
Different
life,
perspectives.
different perspectives, what you think is important, what's not important. Everyone has their different opinions, right? And you made a comment where you prefaced it with, "It's my opinion. I'm giving you, I'm giving you this," and it wasn't to look for a fight. It was to be able to maybe start a conversation, which I feel you did, and it has to be completed, right? But it started, I think, a really good conversation to be able to look at things from a different side, a different perspective, to be able to maybe assist or maybe able to help, another person. And
To be fair, I mean, I want to come back to that conversation I'm saying, but to be fair, there's also the question of giving an opinion when maybe your opinion's not been asked for.
yeah,
So there's,
and I can see that.
there's that, right?
I can see that,
did
but-
you give an opinion that no one asked? Hey,
Yeah, but I'm
do you
not-
have advice about this?
But
so
I'm not a
a mind reader.
would that be the translation to un adivino?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So a mind reader. I'm not a mind reader. I mean,
That's the art of divination.
yeah. I personally, I just refrained from a lot of commentary. I used to be
You and Rudy.
yeah. I used to be a lot more. I used to be a lot more vocal to the point where, and I'll say, Leah even said directly, she's like, that I have changed a little bit in my argumentative stances because maybe I'm a little bit unbothered, or I show unbothered.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it does eat me up inside a little bit, and I'll go to the mirror and I'll scream at myself, and then I'll walk back out and be like, "Hey."
Did you say you go to the mirror and scream at yourself?
It was figuratively, not literally. I'm not going to an actual mirror and screaming at the mirror.
Thank God. Because that was going to go in my list of concerns for you. Okay.
You have some concerns about me.
I have some concerns about you.
Yesterday, you said you had some concerns.
I have some concerns.
I had to.
Funny enough, these are the same concerns. No, not concerns. It's the same points that other people have brought up
Okay.
to me as well. Like, you're all over the place.
Me?
Yeah. I'm not the only one who's noticed this. This is very recent where you are unfocused. You are all over the place. You easily forget things. Like, you have fully embraced, like, with like bear hug. Bear hug me, ADHD. Bear hug me.
I'm infected.
All right. That's how you
In
are.
any moment, I'll be like,
You know, to the point where I remember where you incorrectly stated that you could multitask. Many years ago, you said that. You could watch a movie, text on the phone, work, do all these things all at the same time, and you were aware of everything. Even though science disproved you, you still held on to that belief. Like,
I'll still hold on to it. A little.
More concerns.
Write them down, doctor.
Delusional.
Dr. Cat.
Okay. Oh, I like that. Continue. Continuing. Sorry. Moving on. Either way. So maybe you are unbothered, and being unbothered has made you be more relaxed.
I have definitely been more unhinged.
No. Don't use that word.
Why?
That's not what you think it means.
What does it mean?
What does it mean to you,
No,
Peter?
what does it mean?
No.
I said it first.
It doesn't matter. It's
Even
what
if
you
it's
think
a
it
millisecond,
means.
No, even if it's a millisecond faster than you, I asked it first, you answer it first.
It means that you are going crazy. Yes.
I don't know if that
exactly.
would be
So what does it
unhinged.
mean for you? You're
What does
using
unhinged mean?
What does it mean for you? Right? Because you're using it in a way that it makes sense to you. So what are you trying to say?
So when I say unhinged, I am saying I have become a little bit more loose in my organizational thoughts and stuff. You asked me for a definition on something that I didn't think about.
Right. Okay.
I'm
An
a little bit-
unhinged
I'm like-
personality is one that is highly disturbed, okay, unstable, and not completely sane. You are going crazy, okay? That's why I'm saying
I'm not too mad about that definition.
It can also mean someone is acting irrationally, unpredictably. For example, you might describe someone's pursuit of a romantic interest as an unhinged obsession. However, it is generally considered inappropriate and hurtful to label someone as unhinged.
Bring on the unhingedness.
Terms that would apply to unhinged are crazy and psychotic.
Leave the psychotic out. I'll take the crazy.
Describing someone with a mental illness.
I'll take a little bit of the crazy. Listen, honestly.
Bro, that everybody has a little bit of crazy. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yes.
You are not unhinged. What I think you're trying to say,
I'm unhooked. Listen, I was wound up tight ass.
There you
time.
go. You're
now-
not as rigid. You're not
I'm
as rigid.
Hooked.
You're unhooked. Okay. You're unwound. That's what it is. You're not unhinged. You're unwound.
Okay.
You're like on permanent vacation, just like an office space. Look at that. Look what happened. He just was like, the truth of it, Bob, is
3.
I just don't care.
2.
Deeper and deeper.
Deeper and deeper.
If you haven't watched the movie, wow, you are missing out. So going back to the whole opinion thing is, I feel that it is a trait that can be appreciated, but it's one of those traits that can be also abused, right? I've heard people make comments before like, oh, I'm just telling you the truth, or I'm just being truthful, right? And they've said something hurtful, but it's like, oh, but that's
different though.
Right. I do see that as different.
That is hiding that is hiding your jab
as a truth. And I think that intent behind your word.
Will truth hurt sometimes? and cause for some of those things to pop up, I think so.
Right.
But not when it is used as a weapon.
And
Because if
one
I
that
come to tell you and I'm like, listen, I know that your left leg is a little bit longer than your right leg, but that makes you ugly.
Right. What was the point of that?
What was the point of it? There
Right.
was nothing there.
Right. That is
Right.
that's not
Hold on.
constructive.
I have to say this because now your leg is not longer than the other, and you are pretty.
Oh, darling. Oh, were you talking about me?
No,
Oh,
I just
know.
don't want
No, babe,
anyone to
nobody
think-
thought that.
Well,
No, honey. And who cares? Who cares? People could be like, "Oh my God, she's so mean to him." Am I mean to you?
bro, after today, after they've seen the
Well, I'm sorry. I'm itchy.
and what does that have to do with you slapping hands at me?
No, sometimes I just get like sofocada, like it's just like that's Latin. That's like exotic. I almost said erotic, but you know what I meant. Exotic words.
Wrong podcast.
Okay. Right. That's the After Dark.
Yeah. The this and that chat after dark. Bro.
Bro, we should do that. Guys, would you guys like to see an After Dark version?
We'd be
Just
ba-
one.
we'd be
Like one a
banned.
year.
We'd be banned. We'll put explicit on it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Speaking of banned, I didn't know you could get banned for trying to sell pictures of your feet on dating apps.
So funny.
All right. Very quick. This is a sidetrack,
And
but
we'll finish here.
yesterday at the tattoo shop, because you were getting your
Mm-hmm.
finished piece, which will not be discussed. The tattoo artist was telling us that his girlfriend got banned out of a dating website, which people, of course, right now are like, why was she on a dating
Hold
website
on.
if it's a girlfriend?
Can we give premise on how we got there?
Why?
So my tattoo was done. He was taking pictures, right? But it's on the back. It's on my back calf, right? And it's a tattoo that goes together with another one that I got. So it's like a pair. And it's been 6 months separated in between the two. And he wanted to get the pictures together. So he's like taking pictures and video and changing the lighting and moving this way and like pictures on pictures. I'm like 15 minutes in of this guy taking pictures of my legs, and I'm like, I better not see an OnlyFans of
your calves.
of my calves out there, you know. And if there is, I want money. And then he tells us this story
that
about his girlfriend
had gotten banned
Mm-hmm.
off of Tinder for trying to sell feet pics.
Yeah.
Apparently you can't do that. That's hilarious. I'm sorry.
Too
That
funny.
is hilarious. But anyway,
The funnier addition to that was that the apprentice tattoo person that was there, she's like, you can't sell that on Tinder. You got to go to feetfinder.com. And we were like, and how do you know?
yeah, it was so funny. But anyway, with that, to close this off, I think that it's a very delicate dance, right? That I am aware that people don't always want to hear what you have to say, period. It doesn't matter what it is. People give into pleasantries, right? And they will ask you, hey, how are you? And then you're like, not great. I'm actually like feeling really down. And it's like, they're thinking, I didn't really want to know,
want that.
right? So, but you put it out there, right? So that's something I have been like, I just feel like I'm aware of that, right? I'm aware that not always when people say, oh, if you need anything, call me. That doesn't actually mean that call them, right?
Right.
If I tell you something, however, I mean it. If you tell me, you know, do you think I should do this? And I tell you, go for it. I'm not trying to boost your ego. Like, oh my gosh, you should do that because you want to. So I'm trying to be nice to you. No, it's because I actually think that you have a shot.
Right.
Right. And if you shouldn't, I'm going to tell you,
Just the same.
I don't think you should.
Yeah.
Because you're asking me, right? But I think mostly in society, people just want to have something said back to them that aligns with whatever their beliefs or their views or their perspective is about whatever situation they're in, I think. And, normally that isn't taken well when you get something opposite, right? And I was, there's so many ways that you can take that, people's feelings about that, right? But I don't apologize for it myself, because I'm not going to go to you and say, oh, I know you thought that dress was pretty, right? But it actually makes you look horrible. That there's no point to that comment. I would never say something like that, right? Even if I do think your dress looks horrible, but you didn't ask me about it. And I also think that if someone does ask, do you like my dress? And it's something that could be hurtful, what you're going to say, I think there's other ways for you to make a comment about something without giving false flattery, right? Where you could say, I really have no opinion, because it's just not a style that I would wear. Mm-hmm. And I didn't say anything. I'm not saying, oh my God, it's beautiful. No, right? I can't be that fake person.
Right.
I can't. I don't have it in me, right? So that's something that I don't apologize for. It's something that I think people can take whichever way they like, right? If I comment on something that you said, it's coming from the well of just, that's what I'm thinking. And if I don't comment, this is what I was telling one of my sisters yesterday. If I don't comment on anything, don't call me out publicly and say, hey, what was your opinion? Because clearly I didn't have anything to say. And my avoidance of commenting was me just saying, okay, I don't have anything to say.
At that position, if somebody were to call you out and say, hey, what was your opinion?
I didn't have one.
Are you ready?
That's it.
You would just say you didn't have one?
I didn't have one.
What if you were hiding one?
What do you mean?
Like you decided not to share your opinion because you did not feel like it was going to be helpful?
Well, it depends, because I think that there's an avenue for you to have private conversations. Like, for example, on social media, people like to point fingers and
keyboard
air
warriors.
Out. What?
The keyboard warriors?
Yeah, that. But I'm saying, like, you'll post something like, oh, there's always that one time when you find out who your friends are. You put a comment out there like that because obviously you want to be asked about what happened, right? Mm-hmm. And then you just want to like spray your stuff out there. I feel that if you're going to say something like that and you have a problem, you should go and tell the person who let you down and did. That's a conversation between you and them. That is not for social media, right? But some people, that's your passive aggressive way of making a comment out there.
They want the attention.
Right. So, and that's why I can't engage with stuff like that. And you and I are very opposite in that, because you do like to engage. I wonder if 2025 Peter is going to be different.
Hold on. But my engagements have been very, very different. Before, they were passionate engagements. And now I'm just looking for a rise.
Yeah. And I'm still not about that.
I know.
I'm
having fun.
Yeah. Whatever. You have your fun.
I pick and choose on, especially like on the Ring app. Those are the best.
Yeah.
Like it's, December 30th, and people are like, there's a loud boom going on in the sky. Anybody know what's going on?
Yeah.
Hello. End of the year. Every single year for the entirety of your life.
And here's,
they do fireworks. Come on.
And here's the thing. It's like at the end of the day, right? For you and me, I'm going to put us together. This is the end of the podcast. This is the end of the day. Final thoughts, right?
Got it.
Is that at the end of it, it's really did you care? Did it change anything for us, right? Does it matter to me what other people are saying, right? That's at the end of the day. People will say whatever they want to, right? One thing that comes to mind right now is that our kids, their style, right, is
evolved.
No, but I was going to say it's been labeled throughout time, right? you could call it goth. You could call it. They're gonna correct me probably. Like, I don't know what is Dave Navarro? Is he a metal
Punk.
I don't know.
No?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Sorry, my thing is moving around. But, it's very it's just those things. I don't really know what to call it, right? But because I'm not trying to put them in a label, it's just their style. It's a lot of chains. It's
His style
uh-huh.
that is named by him
Okay.
is called psychedelia.
Oh well. That's that's why you don't put them in boxes, right?
It's a mixture of modern rock with heavy metal.
All right. So I guess like to have an idea, right? There's a lot of like dark hair, eyeliner, leathers,
Painted nails, earrings.
right? And like I don't know, chains like on the belt, chokers. It's their style. Our children are still the same people, whether they dress like they go to Harvard or they dress like they're in a death metal band.
And it's funny. And it's funny because they've made that shift. And then you have a conversation. Like I have a conversation with Mike, and he's like, for Christmas, I gave him
I knew you were going to bring this
a
up.
lightsaber.
I knew you were going to bring
right?
this up.
So we got lightsabers. I got one for me, one for you, and I got one for him. Sorry, Nick. And he was so excited about his. Are you going to pull it out?
No, we should not have done this.
Why, look.
We're going to get distracted.
Oh, yours has power. I think I'm out. There it goes. Anyways, so these are battling sabers actually.
And Michael was talking to you.
Sorry, I'm trying to turn it off. I have low battery on mine. That's why I didn't do the start. Anyways, so I'm having this conversation with Mike. He's got his hair dyed
Oh yeah.
in a very like blondish black kind
Half
of
is
mix
blonde,
thing
half
going.
is black. Right.
His hair's long. He's got eyeliner in,
Mustache.
mustache, and he's got his he got his lip pierced and his
piercings,
eyebrow
yeah.
pierced, and he's like, "Dad, check this out." And he goes, and he turns off the light, and he stands in the darkness, and he turns on his lightsaber, and he starts like nerding out. Look
So
at
cute.
it was so funny because it's like
It's
it's the
adorable.
last person you think is going to be doing something like that.
And
He
he's told
is
me, and he's
exactly
told me
who
that
he is.
right, and he's told me that people are like, "Oh my gosh, you're so nice," right? But his appearance would be one of possibly people being like, "Oh my god, weirdo, stay away,"
Of
like
course.
whatever, right?
Yep.
So my point being, why did I bring all of this up? It's because I think that for people who knew our children before this style, right, they would be shocked when we go visit them and we go out. We get stares like we're with celebrities.
We went
okay.
when we went to Disney, we went to Cirque du Soleil, and
Okay.
we were
When we went to breakfast, and and so for I would say probably part of the society, right? It would be like, oh, poor parents, right? Their children are disturbed or, rebellious or, into demonic, satanic things. Who knows, right? Whatever labels people put on stuff, right? And I understand that style is not going to be appreciated by everyone, right? It's not going to be liked by everyone. I don't give any animals about whether or not you like it or you don't like it.
Animals?
Yeah.
Okay.
A rat and a donkey's.
Oh, got it.
There you go. But you know what I'm saying, like it doesn't matter. It's their style. They like it. Right? It doesn't change who they
cares?
are. It doesn't change who they are. But everyone's going to have an opinion about it. And I have had messages from people. Oh, I noticed. Okay. And
Good for you. Your
And?
eyes are working.
like what is it that you want to say to me? Like, what is the curiosity there, right? And it's something that I get that it's just going to be stuff that people have opinion about, and it can be very, very negative, right? And it's fine. It's your opinion. Don't be concerned about me because your opinion about something is like, "Oh my God, poor you." Don't be suffering for me. I'm not, you don't need to feel that way. I am okay. All right. I like their style. I think it's really edgy. It's very edgy. It's very different. And you know what? Our kids, I'm going to say this, like, I know our kids are listening to the podcast now, and I just want to say this, like, I feel as a mom, I could not be prouder of our children, right? And it's like, I know that we say this to them, and I don't know if it sinks in to like the depth of your soul, how we feel about that. And I know you feel the same. So I'm saying as their mother, but I'm echoing that as well. And the fact that our kids, I feel, were not the most outgoing children. They have struggled with fitting in when they looked like everyone else wanted them to look. I'm just going to put that out there, okay? They struggled making friends. They felt introverted, and they struggled with social interactions. Like, for them to be so confident that I'm going to dress how I want to dress, and I'm going to put myself out there where you're going to get the most. For somebody who is shy and introverted and doesn't want to be seen, that is not what you want to be wearing, because you're going to call attention all over the place. The fact that they've been able to be so courageous, I feel.
They don't care about the stairs.
They don't care about the stairs.
Because
like, I feel that's growth.
Because they
like
feel
they have been able to get
like
out
they're in
of
the right skin.
Right. And it's like, you're no, like, I cannot stress to our kids enough. Value the opinion of people whose intent is to help you grow. Like, value that. There is something to be valued. But at the end of the day, you need to make the choices that are best for you, and that you feel like this is what I can live with. At the end of the day, this is what I can live with.
How many years did we try to fit into molds that were told
pressed
to us,
upon us by
this
whatever
is what it needs to be?
Right.
And since the pandemic, we've completely broken that mold, and we're better for it.
100%.
We are better
at
for
our
it.
age. Yeah.
And
when you're saying that, are you saying our marriage?
Yes.
I say that, but even as people.
Yeah.
As
but
people.
Last night or yesterday in the afternoon when I was getting the tattoo, we were talking about that. So I was the older of the people that are there getting a tattoo. Right? I'm 43. The lady next to me was 36. Then the tattoo artist was 32. And Ricky is 34? 33?
I don't know.
Something like that.
Something like that.
And when I told him my age, the tattoo artist, the young girl who was doing the lady right next to me, she says to me, she goes, "You're 43?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "And you're doing tattoos like this now?" I'm like, "Yeah. We didn't start getting any tattoos until we were 38. And she's like, "For real?" That's usually something like when you turn 18, you go and you do it. And then, you go years, getting tattoos. I'm like, "Yeah, we started late. We started late." And she's like, "What made you do it?" And I'm like, "We finally decided that we wanted to be who we really were supposed to be." And she's like, that's good advice. And she went back to tattooing, you know? So I hope that, you know, in her age, that she's able to take that and run with it so that, you know, there's no looking back. Like the last thing that and I think this has been our driving force, the last thing that we've wanted, I'm going to say we, because it's us together. The last thing that we want is to look back at any point here going forward and say, damn, I wish we would have done that our way. Because now we're doing it our way, and there are people who have commented, and we don't care. So with that, I think that's a good way to end.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Unbothered.
Unbothered.
#unbothered 2025.
So till next
before you end, because what are you going to say right now? Thank you for listening. If you know any of your friends who might want to listen to the chat, you know, share. We hope you share. Thank you for sticking with us until the end. Leave a comment, please. Leave a comment.
Lots of comments.
No. I'm not letting us out. Oh. I'm just telling you that I was telling Nikki about how many people have been listening, watching the podcast. And she goes, well, I've been sharing it. And I said, why did you do that? I always say that. Okay. And she said, well, because I was told at the end of the podcast, if you know any friends who would enjoy this. And I was like, all
right, so here I go. So if you know any friends that would enjoy this podcast, share it with them. Like, share, subscribe, do all that other good stuff. Leave comments. I'd love being able to engage this week, commenting back and forth. I'm looking at you because you have a hand in this.
All right.
And I'm going to look back at the camera. Ready? Cue. Camera. No private chats. Put it out there.
All the comments.
All of it.
All the comments.
Let's have some fun with it.
And we'll see you next week, you
right?
Cool cats and kittens. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.